My name's Sarah Fulton. I work at Spur Impact. Spur Impact is a nonprofit that's based here out of the Mill. I have been a Mill member since 2017. I love this place. If you, like me, are feeling tired of working on your couch, I am just absolutely done working on my couch. I can't do it anymore. I snuggle too much with my dogs. Come on in, come to the Mill, get a community membership. It's so great here. It's quiet, it's cute, just repainted. It's good to get out of your house. So come on down to the Mill. We're right by the kitchen, which has always been really great. Right by the beer tap, so we've certainly taken advantage of that from time to time. Spur Impact is a nonprofit that is really focused on trying to connect young professionals with different professional development and philanthropic opportunities. So one of the main events that you may have heard of that we run is the Millennial Summit. Big young professional conference. I see some of the people from our Millennial Summit team who are on today, which is awesome. The Millennial Summit is entering its 5th year. We're going to be kicking off another virtual event. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to do some in-person component for that this year. But that happens in August. I'm happy to talk about the Millennial Summit at any time. Literally eat, sleep, breathe Millennial Summit. But today I'm actually going to talk about something different. So Spur Impact, and I'm sorry, I keep messing around with my mask. I got my nice new Mill mask, but it is new, and so I'm trying to get it on my face. So Spur Impact also runs, in conjunction with the United Way of Delaware, an event called Do More 24 Delaware. You may have heard of this event. I'm really hopeful that you have, but it is a big nonprofit day of giving. So the idea is that we take one day, 24 hours, and we invite all nonprofits that serve the state of Delaware to come and fundraise unrestricted dollars. It's actually kind of a fun, fast-paced competition where people can use social media and use their board, use their supporters to really get the word out about their nonprofit. And there's all sorts of prizes available. So we could talk a little bit about Do More 24, but it's coming up on March 4th. It starts at 6 p.m., so that's Thursday, March 4th. So we'll kick off at 6 p.m. We'll go all into the night, raising money, midnight, middle of the night, and then we'll end up at 5:59. That's the last big minute. We try to get as many donations in as possible, cut it off at 6 o'clock. Last year, our big, we worked with the United Way and a big planning committee. We got about 275 nonprofits in the state of Delaware, which is an insane number of nonprofits if you think about it, who raised nearly $400,000, which is just incredible, just in 24 hours alone. And that really comes from the power of people posting on social media, sharing, sending emails, and really the power of the people carrying the weight of the message for the nonprofits to, get folks on board. So that's Do More 24 in a nutshell. If you have any questions, feel free to chat, and I guess Rebecca will help us throw in some questions. But I just want to talk a little bit more about the opportunity. So Do More 24, you might be thinking, well, why does Spur Impact have anything to do with this? You guys are really focused on millennials. So millennials often have, we get some accusations lobbed around about millennials. You're lazy, you're entitled, you are buried in student debt, so what could you possibly contribute to society? All of those things, we spend a lot of time with the Millennial Summit and trying to build our community of professionals here in the city of Wilmington and across Delaware and across the region, really trying to debunk a lot of those myths. But where this nonprofit day really kind of comes in to fit in is millennials are on the rise. We are now the generation that is, we're CEOs of companies, we're United States senators, we're, kind of starting to be the generation, now people who are 25 to 40, that's the generation that's really going to start carrying a lot of the burden and a lot of the opportunity in our society. So we want to start building really healthy habits among millennials who can maybe not write a huge check, right? I'm not putting my name on the wing of a hospital anytime soon. I don't have that kind of money, probably never will. But hopefully, if I can give $25 to an organization that I care about, down the line, I'll be able to continue to support that organization over my lifetime and be able to give a little bit more. So we want to say, hey, you can maybe not give a ton of money, but we want you to get invested, use your social media platforms, get really excited about the nonprofit. But we are, really trying to get people excited about the opportunity to get invested with a nonprofit, give back in a really meaningful way, and kind of help those nonprofits extend the message beyond what they would normally be able to do. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know if anyone has any questions. But I'd love to talk a little bit about some of the incentives. So nonprofits, as we know, COVID has like really taken a hit on our nonprofits, on our restaurants, schools, you name it. Every organization in our society has been really impacted by COVID. So this year, the opportunity to raise these funds, I think, is more important than ever. We have a lot of nonprofits who aren't able to do some of the really critical work that they've been able to do because funds are just tight right now. All sorts of things are going on. I don't need to belabor that point. So this year, we've got a couple of really cool prizes that are going to help incentivize nonprofits who probably are really focused on keeping the lights on with their business right now to say, hey, this is worth it for you to take the time to think creatively with your teams and to really participate in this opportunity. So the first thing is, so Discover Bank put in this awesome prize, $25,000, and this is CRA money, Community Reinvestment Act money. So this is for nonprofits that deal with housing and other kind of community economic development causes. And so there's a really special prize pool for those groups of nonprofits that they're able to compete for. And this is everything from, who can raise the most money in an hour, who can, get 24 different unique donors, one through every hour. We'll have different prizes and things like that. Similarly, we're also really excited this year for the arts organizations. I'm sure we're all really dying to go see a concert or walk in a museum or do some of those things that really make our society what they are. So the Delaware Division of the Arts, which is actually part of the local government here, has put forward some matching dollars. So actually $425,000 of matching funds for their grantee organizations. So we're really excited. That's about 60 nonprofits in the arts space that are going to have an opportunity to get some really, really cool prize money available. So between all of that, we've got a stretch pool, which you can kind of think like a pie chart. So if your nonprofit raises some percentage of our overall thermometer, right? So, we're all raising money. Some nonprofit might raise a couple hundred, some nonprofit might raise a couple of $1,000s, but we're gonna all together raise some big sum of money. I would like that to be a very high sum of money. But the stretch pool works in the way that says you raise a proportionate amount of what the overall total raise is. So if your nonprofit raises 10% of that full thermometer, you get 10% of the stretch pool. Right now, the stretch pool sits at $50,000. So that's a lot of cash that we're going to dole out to everyone who raises something. So they get a little extra cash on top. So there's all sorts of prizes available. We also have a lot of helpful tools available for nonprofit staff people. We're going to do all sorts of trainings and things. So, a lot of nonprofits have, awesome teams of people, young folks who know how to use social media, who know how to, get on TikTok and think creatively. The Delaware Humane Association's on TikTok now. So if you are on TikTok, I highly recommend you follow the Delaware Humane Association. Lots of cute dogs. But there are a lot of organizations out there that are really well equipped to think creatively about some of the tools that we have available, but some aren't. Some are entirely volunteer run, and this is where you come in. You might be thinking, this has nothing to do with my life. Why is this person talking to me about this? Every person in the city of Wilmington, in the state of Delaware, mill members, everyone, I think, has a nonprofit or a cause that they care about. And your willingness to, even if you don't have a lot of money to give, but your willingness to tweet about or share a post on Instagram about an organization that you care about can really help convince other people that it's a good opportunity for them to donate to that nonprofit. I'm sure a lot of you, if you thought about it, if I asked you the question, when's the last time that you donated to a nonprofit? You might think could be Giving Tuesday, could be one of these days. But I would actually venture to guess that you donated to a friend who is having a Facebook birthday fundraiser. And you might not even know what that organization is, but if my friend Rebecca is I'm raising money for, what nonprofit would you raise money for?
Theater N.
Theater N, of course. Keep an eye out for Theater N. If Rebecca wanted to, convince her friends and family that that's a good idea, I'd throw her $10. maybe I've never been to Theater N, maybe I don't live in Delaware, don't know what Theater N is, but if Rebecca's my friend, I might support her. So the power of you kind of endorsing a nonprofit really helps to raise money. And I know nonprofits right now are more grateful than ever to have new people in their door, new people learning about their causes, and maybe, gaining new donors that they'll be able to cultivate for years and years to come. Can I tell you about something cool that we're doing this year? Do More 24, I mentioned Giving Tuesday. Do More 24 Delaware is an opportunity for Delaware to kind of shine a light on nonprofits that serve the area. The way I like to think about this is, I don't know if any of you grew up in like a football town, but I did. Someone asked me earlier where I lived. I grew up in a football town where like Friday nights, the whole town was like banners, balloons, the local restaurants would like show the games sometime, things like that. And I think there's like a hometown pride surrounding an opportunity like this. So my goal for Do More 24 is for people walking down the street, people sitting in the mill to be like, oh yeah, March 4th, that's Do More 24. It's an awesome day for Delaware to kind of shine a light on what's really important about Delaware, what makes it special. And I think a lot of that is our nonprofits. I mean, we have really wonderful amenities here. We have, cool places like the Mill. We've got awesome restaurants and, arts venues and things. But so much of what we do, so many people who work here, so much of the, so many of the services that are provided in our communities are nonprofits. And I think it's really important that we kind of give back to the nonprofits, especially in a time like right now. So my goal is, this year, one of the partnerships that we're pursuing is with our restaurants. So we're working with the Delaware Restaurant Association, and we've got a couple of sponsors who are going to basically serve as like angel sponsors, so that a restaurant can say, hey, we're partnering with Do More 24, come on into our restaurant, 10% or some percentage of your bill is going to go to Delaware nonprofits. But as I mentioned, restaurants kind of having a hard time right now because of COVID. So we don't want to take any dollars away from restaurants. So we've got some sponsors who are going to say, we will cover the tab. You come on into our favorite local restaurants, get your takeout, come on, sit down, do whatever you're doing. We will cover the bill. So it's a cool way to kind of help out our restaurants and also get some money into the nonprofits. So we're really looking for opportunities like that to partner with our community partners. Sorry, that's a lot of partnering, but that's what we want to do, collaborate with people in the community so that we can all kind of get excited about this opportunity, give back to our nonprofits, give back to our small businesses like our restaurants, and keep moving the needle. Last year we raised $400,000. This year I'm hopeful to raise, twice that at least. That would be really nice. And down the line, this can turn into like an annual, I kind of want to think of it like a holiday where we can continue to, get people excited about this and really start to build those habits for young people and, people of all ages, that it's so important to give back to your nonprofits, and this is a really cool way to do that. One other thing that we're doing this year is we are working with some of our university partners. So Goldie Beacom, actually, if Dan's still watching, we're going to have some student volunteers who are going to be helping some of these nonprofits provide some of that social media support. So, if you've got a nonprofit staff person who's like, what's TikTok? I guarantee you that a 22-year-old college student will be able to answer that question and might be able to help them think about ways to shine a light on the work that the nonprofit does in a really cool way. So we're excited to kind of facilitate that partnership this year with some of our local Delaware University students. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay.
Really struggling with this.
Where should people go?
Oh, yeah, the obvious question. So you can go to our website, domore24de.org. Actually, I lied to you. domore24delaware, wholedelaware.org. I'll put it in the comments once we're done with this. But you can already see about 70 nonprofits have signed up to participate this year. That number is just going to keep growing. My personal goal is to get 300 this year. And I think we're going to do it. But keep an eye out. There's all sorts of, we're ramping up our social media. If you see me at any point in time, get out of the way or else you're going to get into a conversation about Do More 24. And I'm really sorry in advance. It's all that we're talking about right now. We're trying to recruit nonprofits. So if you are someone who you support a nonprofit, you work at a nonprofit, you care about a nonprofit, reach out to them or reach out to me on their behalf and see, hey, is this nonprofit signed up yet? You as someone who maybe doesn't work at that nonprofit can make your own page. So Rebecca can make her own page for Theater N and say, hey, Theater N's raising money. I'm really excited about theater ed. So I've got my own page and I've got a goal. I want to raise $200 for theater ed today. So you've got the ability to make that. It's, you know, social media compatible and all of that. But yeah, it's a cool opportunity, and I'm certainly happy. You know, I'll drop my information on this so that if anyone has any questions, you can certainly get in touch. We're also going to have information sessions where you can learn a little bit more about that. So we have one coming up on Friday at 11 a.m. I'll drop the Zoom registration for that too. All right, well, thanks everybody. Rebecca, I appreciate the opportunity, and hope to see you participating on social media and online with Do More 24 Delaware this year.